All right. Right. How's the sound, you guys? All good? Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Good sound. So we're like, so you want me to start with the actual information? Okay, okay. So we're at the Boys and Girls Club, and I wanted the kids here. You guys just got done talking to an astronaut, and I just wanted to ask you guys, who here knows about the World Cup? So most of you guys. And are you excited about it? What do you think about the World Cup? Yeah. Okay. What would you say if I told you that you guys are gonna get to go to a World Cup match tomorrow? Um, because you are. So you guys and 250 other kids and their chaperones are going to the Cape Verde versus Saudi Arabia match tomorrow. The astronaut will be there if there are some questions that you guys didn't get to ask him. And it's going to be amazing. And it's especially, I saw your guys' jaws drop, which was amazing. I know, yeah, that was great. And it's particularly exciting because Cape Verde is one of the darlings of the tournament. So they've been doing amazing, even though it's their first time in the World Cup. They tied Spain, which is, a powerhouse. And if they win this match, then they'll move on to the round of 32. So for a country that is in the World Cup for the first time, for them to go to knockout round, it's a huge deal. But anyway, I grew up in South America. And like a lot of the people in Harris County, and I think all around the world, but especially, really all around the world. I mean, 5 billion people watched the World Cup in 2022. Do you guys know how many people live in the world? Yeah, around 8 billion. So that's like 60% of the entire population of the world watched the World Cup last time there was a World Cup. So do you guys think that's more people than live in the entire continent of America from Canada to Chile? Yeah. So it's all of the people live there plus everyone in Europe. That's how many people tuned in that are going to be, a lot of those people are going to be watching the same game that you guys are going to be watching, but you're going to be sitting in the stands and you're going to see those players. So a lot of people want to watch it. I myself really wanted to go also to watch a match, and I quickly realized that tickets were not in my budget, like a lot of people. I got an invite from FIFA to go to the round of 32, which is very generous, very exciting. It was one seat and one match for me. And then I realized there's probably a lot of people in the community who, like me, really, really wanted to go to a match. Growing up, I always dreamt of being able to go to the World Cup. I never imagined the World Cup would be in a community where I was the county executive, much less in our stadium, much less a World Cup as exciting as this one. So I know people have seen me having fun at the matches, but during halftime and up until the first water break or a little more, I go to work. There are folks attending matches that I can meet with to promote Harris County on a global stage that I can't meet elsewhere. So you guys will see me for a little there while you're at the match, because we'll meet people like the Prime Minister of Portugal. So, the Prime Minister is the #1 person there. Like the Uzbek ambassador to the US and Canada and Brazil. So somebody was talking to me earlier about Portugal latest game that was against Uzbekistan. So when we were there, we met the ambassador, we met Swedish consul general, we met business leaders, especially from Taiwan. We had a lot of business leaders that are investing, have invested, are expanding investments in Harris County, creating thousands of jobs. So we were able to invite those folks that we had gotten to know during the trade missions and see them at the World Cup. That was sort of our way to get them here and be able to finalize deals with them to have more investments. CTBC Bank specifically, who I met with in Taiwan, is opening a representative office in downtown Houston. So somebody earlier was telling me they want to work at a bank. Anyway, I thought I heard that. So yes, yeah, okay, no. All right, well, your friends were telling me so, but you get to just make your own choices. So So given the benefit of that this could bring to the county, I thought, can I use my campaign funds to fund tickets for the FIFA World Cup? So I talked to my campaign attorney. I learned that I could go to matches funded by my campaign as long as I was working for economic development portion while I was there. Once I learned that, I got my wheels spinning about how else could I use my campaign funds for people to be able to come to the match? So fortunately, my campaign attorney told me yes, the answer is yes to being able to bring kids from the community to see the World Cup. I was particularly excited about that because I think if you guys follow a soccer player very closely, if you see their interviews, when you ask them what made you want to be a soccer player, they always talk about they saw a really big match and that inspired them. And so, like, you guys might think that we're just saying this, but the fact of the matter is, any one of you here, any boy or girl here, could literally be the soccer player that we watch 10 years from now. I mean, some of these players are 17, 18, 19, and that is how they ended up there. And so I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy, but also while you're there, that you can think about, is this something that I might want to do? And just remember, and it's hard when you're there, this is how I felt, it's like at that Portugal match, somebody said, there's billions of people around the world that if you ask them like what time and place would they like to be, is like that's where they would like to be. So that's going to be us tomorrow at 7:00. And all your parents have said yes. So I know some of you guys are wondering, like, did you ask my parents? Yes. And they said yes. So it's tomorrow evening. So I wish I'd been able to purchase even more tickets. There are a lot of kids in our community and I wish I could bring all of them. But what I was able to do was purchase around 250 kids. So that was $41,250. And that's what's going to bring our kids and some chaperones. So of course, it wasn't that simple, right? FIFA is also is someone we need to give credit to, because if you do the math, you guys, that meant that FIFA sold us the tickets at $175 each. The tickets for this match right now, probably the lowest cost ones are going for like $600 minimum, probably more. So that was really wonderful of them. And these matches, just like concerts and other sporting events, have gotten so expensive. It's prohibitive for the vast majority of people. So that was really great. Commissioner Ellis's team, and he'll speak here as well, helped me brainstorm and is going to help bring also a lot of kids to the match. And then we have Ali here from Interfaith Ministries, right there, yes. And so Shurub Mukhtar with Interfaith Ministries also helped me think about how we could make this happen. So, I had the idea, I had some funds, but how do you go from that to 250 kids arriving at this massive stadium where there's a lot of things going on? So we figured out just this past Monday, a couple days ago, that we actually got the tickets. I said to my team, this is not real until they're in our account. And I was hearing from our partners like, hey, so, we're excited. Like, are you going to do this? I'm like, I think so, but I don't see them, So finally it came through the phone. It said like 250 tickets on like the phone, which was wild. And so this, the logistics were hard, but we made it happen. And Christopher and Amelia, who are here, they are, if you guys want to raise their hands. So you are two out of the kids and chaperones who are going to be there. We'll actually fill the majority of two whole sections. So it's pretty fun. We'll have something so people will know we're there, and we're gonna be really loud. So save your voice for tomorrow night, because we're gonna be the best group, the best fans in the whole stadium. So it's a big deal. Once we knew we had the tickets, the question was, how do we pick kids? There's so many kids in the county that would like to go. So we focused on refugee communities, because a lot of kids from refugee communities are big soccer fans. Same with immigrant communities. And then we also went to nonprofits for other kids in the community. It's impossible to find every kid who's interested in soccer. So at this point, it was, how can we go find ways to reach young people who are gonna really love this? Doesn't matter their background, but just let's find them. So the tight turnaround. So we were able to work with these partners who had the infrastructure set up to be able to find the kids. So Interfaith Ministries, the Boys and Girls Club, our trusted partners, Commissioner Ellis's team helped us with logistics. His office has distributed some tickets as well to community partners that we all admire. So there are 95 tickets for Interfaith Ministries, 65 tickets for the Boys and Girls Club, and 84 community organizations throughout Harris County, and that's being managed for Precinct 1. And then we have 10 tickets for staff and logistical folks. So I'll just close here. It's really beautiful how this has been an effort bringing together not just the Boys and Girls Club and the leaders here, and I want to acknowledge, of course, the CEO, Kevin Hattery. Thank you for having us, and everyone who's here, but and your parents and your families and everyone who was happy with us doing this, but also, you know, your team, Commissioner Ellis's team, Ali's and Sharu's team, and then FIFA. And I think that sometimes we forget that the World Cup is so special, especially these days, because there are so many politics around the world, and there's so much fighting across countries, and the World Cup brings everybody together around sports, and we're not thinking about politics, and we're not thinking about hurting people, and we are just playing a game, and we're having fun. And so that's going to be really amazing, and the fact that this brought us together as well, I just think it's a really nice reflection of the unity that the World Cup brings. So this is about what everything's about, and we are about to get to see a game that the whole world loves. So just some brief acknowledgments, and then I'll pass it on to my colleagues here. So I want to thank Sharu Mukhtiar, President and CEO of Interfaith Ministries, who was not able to join us today, but Ali Al-Sudani, the Chief Programs Officer at Interfaith Ministries, will speak later on. I want to thank FIFA and the Houston Host Committee for their partnership. I want to thank Colonel Terry Virts, former Air Force pilot and former astronaut. I want to thank Maricela Alvara, Director of the Spring Branch Boys and Girls Club, Mark Martin, Senior Director of Board Governance and Communications at the Boys and Girls Club, David Brady and John Shriver from the FIFA Host Committee. They did incredible work. Chris Canetti of the FIFA World Cup Host Committee, and of course, Commissioner Ellis and Christopher and Amelia here, who will share a few words in a bit. So let me pass it on to Commissioner Ellis.
Thank you. First, I want to say it's a really big deal to get a ticket to go to the World Cup. I haven't gone yet. And I would ask for one of these tickets, but the judge would say no. So I want you to give her a warm, stand-up round of applause. This is a big deal to thank Judge Hidalgo for getting these tickets for you to go. And all of the parties involved in it, it's a big deal. It really takes a village to get this done. And she was very intentional about trying to find young people who normally would not have the opportunity to do it. I've only been in one other city in the world where a World Cup was going on. I was in South Africa. I was in Cape Town when the World Cup was going on there. I think Shelley Davis back there, who has traveled a good bit with me, was there with me. And we were there before the World Cup was there. And so I was trying to hustle and get some tickets. All of the hotels were going up. It's ridiculous. Prices were going up. So I asked a president, former president, you Google and see who, the former president of South Africa, could I get a ticket? He said, do you have any money? So I took my flight and went on and got out. I suggest to you, do a little research on the two countries that you're going to watch. Cape Verde is a part of Africa. I've been there a couple of times. It's really sort of a salt dome. I was stuck there once with engine trouble for about 24 hours. But it's a very interesting country, a very beautiful country. And then look up the kingdom of Saudi Arabia, so you know a little bit about what you're going to see. This is by far the biggest sporting event we have ever had in the history of Houston. And it's a big deal for these games to be in North America. And it'll be both games in Canada, in the U.S., and in Mexico. So when you go home, your parents already know, but hopefully they didn't tell you based on how you responded. When you tell your friends you are going to the World Cup and you're going tomorrow, it's a really big deal. So take pictures. There'll be a lot of traffic to get in. It'll take a while to get in, but relish the moment because you will remember it for the rest of your lives. Judge, I want to thank you. I'm going to tip out. I can't go tomorrow. I'm going to a little political convention tomorrow, but I'm going to Galveston today. Somebody told me that kid learned how to ride because my biking program was over here. So we got a bike ride from Galveston to Houston on Sunday. So I'm going down there to just kind of check out the route before I go to Corpus Christi later on there. So, but Judge, thank you. It says a lot about you as an elected official. I was thinking about asking you for some of that campaign money since you're not running again, but I'm so glad that you're doing this. It says a lot about you. Give her another warm round of applause. Thank you, Judge Lena Hidalgo.
Can I ask you to share a little bit, Commissioner, about the groups that you guys have identified?
So we took kids from our various youth programs, some at Hester House, low-income kids who would not have an opportunity, kids who look for something to do most summers. And so we're going to provide transportation to get them there, and it really means a lot. You asked me to be intentional about it. The groups that you hear, you know, are very important as well, but we look for kids who normally would not have this chance in their entire lifetime. And I think it's something that will inspire them when they go back to school to do even better. So one day they'll be able to provide tickets for 250 kids who couldn't go to a World Cup as well. All right? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner, so much to you and your team. They're really a partner. We're all equal partners in making this possible. Let me pass it on to Kevin Hattery, the President and CEO of the Boys and Girls Club, and thank you for hosting us.
Thank you very much, Judge. At the core of what we do at the Boys and Girls Club is to provide a safe environment, supportive adult relationships, and meaningful experiences. Meaningful experiences. As already been noted, it is a really big deal for all of you kids to get to go to the World Cup. It is a once-in-a-lifetime moment and experience that you are going to remember for the rest of your lives. And furthermore, the commissioner was talking about Saudi Arabia a little bit, learn a little bit about that. Well, because we are a host city, all of our Boys and Girls Club across the county and further out are actually talking about the World Cup. And each Boys and Girls Club has adopted a country. And it's just ironically that Saudi Arabia has been adopted by this Boys and Girls Club here. So they know a lot about it. So the whole point is not only is this a once-in-a-lifetime moment for the young people, but we're also creating this meaningful experience because there's an educational component to it as well. And Judge, I also want to say thank you not only for providing the tickets to the Boys and Girls Club, but for all of our community-based organizations. I think it's a great demonstration of what we can do, public-private partnership space, to create these youth development experiences. And I want to thank you and your team for creating this special environment and this special occasion, as well as our team at Boys and Girls Club and the other community-based organizations, because partnering together, we are really, truly making an impact in our county. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And I hope folks know, you guys are not just receiving the tickets. You guys, we could not do it if it weren't for this CEO and all of the folks that help serve you guys, the kids. I mean, it would be impossible. So thank you. So let me pass it on to Ali Al-Sudani, Houston Chief Programs Officer at Interfaith Ministries.
Thank you, Judge. So, thank you, Judge, for this opportunity, and thank you, everyone, for Boys and Girls Club for hosting us. The refugee and immigrant communities in Houston is very strong, and Houston is very diverse and welcoming city. And refugees, when they come, they leave behind many things. They leave their home, their friends, their food, and they come to a city where everything looks different and everything looks not familiar. The language is different. But soccer, or football, we call it here, is the world's most popular game, and you don't need to speak any language to play soccer. So providing these tickets by the judge, it's not a matter of ticket. It's not a matter of I have surplus funds or I came up with the funds, but it's leadership in bridging gaps in the communities and having these kids and youth realize that they are welcome and they are part of this community. And when they go to these big events at the Houston Stadium, we call it NRG, there will be 70,000 people. It's a big thing. So you feel part of the community. Refugee kids, they feel part of the community, and they feel they have a future here to participate in building our community and become successful and thriving members. It's not only I Am Houston is going to bring our refugees, but we also invited our partners, Church World Service and Ethiopian Community Development Council and Amana Services. And most of these organizations who are working with refugees, guess what? They also have soccer teams. And this is one of their services, is that they are providing these soccer tournaments and soccer teams to the immigrants and refugee kids. We are grateful to be in Houston, and we should be happy and we should be excited and we should be grateful to the county and the elected official and to the judge for providing us with this opportunity. So thank you, Judge, for doing all this to our community.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and for your partnership and just as with Boys and Girls Club, we would absolutely not be able to do this at all without you guys. So I'm almost done here, kids. Speaking of international, I forgot to repeat my remarks in Spanish, and then I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and then we'll be done. So, bueno, hablamos español ahora. Yo soy inmigrante de Colombia, entonces, bueno, quien habla español me entiende, y también las cámaras. Esto va para los canales en español. Entonces, intentemos nuevamente. ¿Quién está contento por poder ir al Mundial este año? Yay! So that's who's excited about the World Cup. So yeah, we're excited. Y bueno, ese fue el anuncio que hicimos hoy día. Fue anunciar que tenemos 250 boletos para el juego de Arabia Saudita contra Cabo Verde. Esta noche, no, mañana por la noche, a las 7 de la noche. Y vamos a estar ocupando casi 2 secciones completas. Van a haber alrededor de 150 niños y también algunos acompañantes. Y son niños del Boys and Girls Club, del Interfaith Ministries, que trabaja con refugiados, y también de varias organizaciones comunitarias, y eso lo estamos trabajando vía la oficina del comisionado Ellis. Entonces, bueno, como 5.000 millones de personas en el mundo ven el fútbol. No les tengo que decir a los latinos, o sea, el 60% de los humanos que vivimos en la tierra vemos lo que es el mundial. Para uno que está aquí es como difícil contemplar el hecho de que estamos en un sitio, estaremos en un asiento, en un estadio donde la mayoría del mundo quiere estar. Pero está aquí en nuestra comunidad. Yo siempre había soñado con ir a un mundial, nunca se me ocurrió estar donde un mundial va a estar, vivir ahí, mucho menos ser ejecutiva en ese lugar. Les cuento que intenté comprar boletas para mí misma para el mundial. La FIFA me había dado una boleta para el juego de la ronda 32 y no me alcanzaba, como a muchas familias. Tanto esto como varios eventos de música, deportivos, se ha vuelto bastante caro, y la persona promedio, o aún más de eso en cuanto a ingresos, pues no está en el presupuesto. Entonces es ahí que he venido trabajando en el desarrollo económico durante los partidos. Específicamente ya cerramos un acuerdo con CTBC Bank, un banco de Taiwán, que va a establecer aquí una presencia. Tenemos también una expansión que va a traer miles de trabajos que quiero anunciar, pero todavía no puedo. Y también he visitado como el primer ministro de Portugal, el cónsul de Uzbekistán, el embajador, de hecho, etcétera. Entonces eso es lo que estoy haciendo en el medio tiempo y parte del partido. Cuando me dijeron que podía, con los fondos de mi campaña, pagar por boletas si es que trabajaba, entonces dije, ok, puedo pagar por boletas boletas para niños, porque sé que a los niños les encanta los deportes y más que nada esos jóvenes que están en el equipo, algunos ya no tan jóvenes, decidieron jugar fútbol y ser profesionales porque vieron a grandes futbolistas. Entonces es absolutamente posible que uno de los niños aquí sea el futbolista que vamos a observar, niños o niñas, sea el futbolista que vamos a observar en 10 años, 15 años. Entonces, mañana estaremos allá. Tuvimos una conversación con un astronauta, Terry Virts, y mañana el astronauta también va a estar para responder cualquier pregunta que no se hizo hoy día. Y eso sí, que van a notar nuestra presencia porque vamos preparados para hacer muchísimo ruido, estar súper contentos y observar estos dos países que son increíbles y que además es un partido muy bonito. Ha habido mucha atención a Cabo Verde. Las boletas hoy día están, creo, mínimo $600. La FIFA no las ha vendido por mucho menos de eso. Entonces, $175 por boleto. Entonces, puede asignar $41,250 de fondos de campaña para que aproximadamente 250 niños pudieran asistir a este partido de la Copa Mundial. Entonces, bueno, eso dicho, le voy a pasarle el micrófono aquí a los dos jóvenes, Christopher y Emilia. So I'm going to pass it on to Christopher and Emilia. So who would like to start? Let me pick Emilia. So why don't you share a little bit how excited you are to attend the game? What do you know about soccer? What do you think?
I really love soccer. I'm really excited for the match tomorrow. I've never been to one, and my family lives for soccer.
Okay.
I really love the sport, how you make connections with every team, especially afterwards. You get to say hi, good game, and you just make sure that everybody feels, appreciated for what they did, how the work they did. I really love the game and the sport.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, round of applause. That was beautiful. Yeah. Will you tell us what team you're cheering for?
Saudi Arabia.
Okay, all right. Okay, so well, that'll be interesting to see who's cheering for who. But at one point, we're gonna all cheer for us. Okay, let's hear from Christopher now.
Wait, what?
Okay, so let me repeat the question. That's a good point. That's a good point. So I was gonna ask you what you think about the World Cup and what you think about soccer, and if you'd like to share, who are you cheering on tomorrow?
I feel like soccer is a really good sport because you get to communicate and make teamwork better and concentrate like on what you're doing. And I feel tomorrow Saudi Arabia is gonna win tomorrow.
All right, there's two for Saudi Arabia. All right, well, I think that is it. If I'm not missing anything, do you guys Excuse me? Oh yeah, or who? I guess yes. Does anybody? I have a feeling people are gonna say mostly the same one. We'll see. Okay, if you have a favorite player, raise your hand. Okay, so let's start over here. Who's your favorite player?
It doesn't have to be on Saudi.
No. In the world. Hey, okay. Who else loves Messi? No. Okay. What about you, young man? Ronaldo. Okay. Who loves Ronaldo? Yeah, I mean, does somebody else have a favorite player that's not Messi or Ronaldo? Yes, go ahead. Emilio. Okay. What about you?
Michael Olise.
Okay. Tell us more.
He's a France player.
Okay. Yeah, I was telling them I like Mbappe because he's a good player, but also he's very handsome. You're talking about the French team. Yes. Were you gonna say something else about a player? Ronaldinho. Okay, so we're talking about past players. Yes. Neymar. We like. So I was born in Colombia, so Neymar, the region. Yeah. Then they're actually Brazil's coming to Houston for the round of 32. I know, we just found out. And so tonight we'll find out who else is coming to Houston to play against Brazil. Yes. Pelé. Okay, Pelé is like the legend. Okay, yes, go ahead. Maradona. All right. Yeah, that's we love Maradona too. Nobody has said James Rodriguez. He's the star of the Colombian team. Okay.
Vinicius.
Vinicius, okay. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I agree. Let's study up on soccer ahead of tomorrow and just so that we can all have a favorite player. They're awesome and some scored these insane goals. So yeah, anyway. Okay, do you guys have any pressing questions? All right. Okay, thank you all so much for your patience. I will see you tomorrow and we won't be talking, we will just be watching the game.